Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Y'all really thought I wasn't gonna upload, huh? It's been just over 2 days since my last just under 2 days even since my last upload, and I can already see people were like, "Oh, you're not gonna upload today." Well, of course I'm gonna upload today. I mean, and if anything, my last two videos that I uploaded about Manchester City and Chelsea, respectively, I think they were all backed up last night, weren't they, lads? I really think they do. Honestly, I have been in such a good mood today. I have smiled through. I've just been smiling constantly because that win last night. And are Manchester City really back? Well, I mean, this could all again go horribly wrong, especially considering they played United in 2 days in the Carabao Cup semi-finals at Old Trafford. But we'll be happy for now. We deserve it, Manchester City fans. We bloody deserve it. Now, as for the game last night, let's talk a bit about it. So Manchester City came into the game not have they came into the game on relatively bad away form against Big Six opposition. They've won against Big Six this season. They've drawn against United. They've beat Arsenal. They've beat Arsenal twice actually. Now they've beaten Chelsea, and I mean, uh, uh, honestly, I cannot run out of words of how good a couple of players were last night. And I think I have to start with Ilkay Gundogan because that man, I think there was a time somewhere in July when not July, August even, when the Champions League had restarted to for the end of last season, and I was screaming to get Gundogan out of the team because he wasn't playing good enough. He was back passing after back passing after back passing, and I think there was even a press conference that Pep did saying that I think Ilkay can play further up front, and I'm not the only one who read that and was like, well, what? He's a central defensive midfielder, and he's not exactly a classy finisher of such. But last night, I'm not the only one who sees this. If you can ask any Chelsea fans, and last night, Ilkay Gundogan spun N'Golo Kante back to France. N'Golo Kante got spun back to France. Ilkay Gundogan played so good, and he deserves some respect, honestly speaking. But if I talk about him, I won't give the credit to the other couple of players that I want to talk about. And honestly speaking, just before I continue, this whole team has been very solid. Need I remind people, we're without 7 players: Kyle Walker, Ferran Torres, Aymeric Laporte, Nathan Ake, Ederson, and Eric Garcia. That is a lot of players gone. And and people think, oh, they don't start. Kyle Walker starts. Laporte starts. He's not been starting, but he does. When he's on form, he starts. Ake has been playing very well as a fullback. Ederson is our starting goalkeeper. We went to Stamford Bridge with Zach Steffen in goal. While a talented lad, he's 25 and he's played like 10 games for Man City. He's only played in the Cup. This was his first Premier League experience, and he looked a bit nervy, of course, but I think he was still relatively good. But anyways, now let's talk about the other two players that I want to focus on, and those are Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden. And there's a special mention after Phil Foden. But as for Kevin De Bruyne, I mean, what else can you say? The guy is sensational. I respect Bruno Fernandes, but don't compare them. And I'll tell you guys why not to compare them. You are comparing two players that have completely different roles. Last night we saw him play as a striker. I watch every single Manchester City game, and I watch a lot of Man United games. And sometimes I see Bruno only play up. Bruno does not. He does not play as a CDM. De Bruyne actually plays as a defensive midfielder. He can play. I saw him play at a fullback position once, and his ability. He could play as a winger, a striker. Bruno can't do that. Don't give me this conversation. And please stop with these stats. Just please. He scored 33 penalties, Bruno Fernandes. 33 penalties in 1 year. 33 penalties. Are you out of your mind? You're really gonna try to compare them? Man City have had one third of the penalties of United. Give De Bruyne the same penalties. He has more assists. De Bruyne has more assists. So please don't compare them. They're both talented players. Don't compare them. It's like the Messi-Ronaldo debate. And last night, De Bruyne showed why he can spearhead Manchester City to the Premier League. And Phil Foden, my God, that guy, that man, the Stockport Iniesta. That guy is a touch of class, Phil Foden. One of my favorite players to watch, honestly speaking. I love Foden. He has to start. He has to start end off. And a player that I kind of want to talk about because it's a player that I have a lot of mutual respect for, if you want to say, or respect for even. Alexander Zinchenko. Now, he was class last night. He was absolutely class. His assist was cheeky, and his movement held the flank, and he was actually able to defend. He was actually able to stop Ziyech. Need I remind you, Ziyech is a very talented lad. And another player that I want to give a bit of credit to, my God, I'm going to be praising this whole team, is Bernardo Silva. My God. The guy, he's not scored or assisted. His goals and assist tally is dry. But the importance of his pressing and his ability to run is second to none. Believe me, take out Bernardo out of the team, there would be a big problem in it. His ability to keep pressing and pressing and pressing, and a little bit of shithousery in him. He's not willing to give fouls. He complains about shit. You like that sort of stuff, you know? But yeah, okay. Enough about the Man City Chelsea game. But just a quick thing about Chelsea. Frank Lampard is going to get sacked. I think he could get sacked. If not now, mostly at the end of the season, especially if they don't get top four. But if they do, then different story. But is top four really the aim for a club who spent $250 million? Anyways, let's talk about the other games. Now, there was a couple of decent games, to say the least. The bigger one out of these three was Arsenal thumping West Brom 4-0 with goals from Lacazette stealing the show. And I mean, Arsenal looked class. And Tierney and Saka also added on to those goals. And they looked absolutely class against West Brom. I know it's West Brom, but West Brom just managed to pull a point out of Anfield and at the Etihad in their last 5 games. They've got 2 points out of Anfield and Etihad. While they've lost, But the point is Arsenal look very good. And that Chelsea win, hopefully similar to Man City, is proving to be a catalyst almost for Arsenal's season. As for the Newcastle-Leicester game, Leicester breezed past Newcastle. Newcastle didn't have a chance. The last 10 minutes, they scored a goal. It's a wonder goal, by the way, from Andy Carroll. But again, they didn't have a chance, honestly speaking. And a game that I found very, very nice to watch, Brighton vs Wolves. Brighton found themselves 3-1 down and pulled it back to 3-3 against the Wolves side, who are very good at holding advantages. And should have made it 4-3, and they did make it 4-3, but the referee disallowed it quite despicably. So, yeah, that's about it in the Premier League. There were other games, but they weren't as relevant they weren't as thrilling or relevant, so let's move on. In La Liga, we saw the return of Marcus Asensio's form, hopefully for him. He scored and assisted, as did Lucas Vazquez. They single-handedly breezed past Celta Vigo. They made Madrid win in relative ease, with relative ease. As for Atletico, they can't stop winning right now. Atletico Madrid only losing one game since the start of La Liga. It's crazy. Atletico Madrid, they found a way. They conceded in the 84th minute, and then Suarez scored in the 90th to push them ever closer to that La Liga title. As for Barca, they were very poor against Huesca, only scoring 1 goal against the bottom of the team table. The team that is at the bottom of the table. It's not good enough for Football Club Barcelona, but it hasn't been good enough for the last 2 to 3 years as a club. And there are big problems for Ronald Koeman, and he's one that is probably going to face the sack. And for Barca, there's a big month coming up. Their elections are 27th, which is a really big month for them. And yeah, now we move on to the Bundesliga, where now it was a pretty fun weekend, not gonna lie, for the Bundesliga. But the game of the week had to be Bayern versus Mainz, who, believe it or not, Mainz took a 2-0 lead, and they were deservedly so ahead. But then Bayern they did a Bayern. They scored 5, and they looked back to their quite attacking best, which they haven't looked in the last month or so, but they've still been winning, so that's the important thing. As for Dortmund, they slowly recoup their season somewhat. They're trying to get their season back on track. I think making it back-to-back wins, if I'm not wrong. And they started the new year in the right way, and Sancho started it in the right way. His first goal and assist came, and it's a very good thing for Sancho, and hopefully he can carry on this form for. And yeah, so that'll be all. It was a pretty fun weekend. There is Liverpool versus Southampton to come, and there is the Manchester derby and the Tottenham Brentford game, which I will cover on Thursday. Yeah, I will do a Let's Talk Football for them on Thursday. Because my first exam will be done on Thursday, and then I can come home and I'll be able to record on Thursday night. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you lads enjoyed. I will catch you guys, I guess, Wednesday or Thursday. Peace out.